Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Let's go.
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up, cause you tuned into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, though. Positive attitudes, behavior, that's a lifelong dream goal.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, health matters and we're here to help you become the better you, to be the best you, the best version you can be.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, and it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.
Health matters to me.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jackie.
And Coach Patrick.
Welcome to Health Matters Live Podcast, where your health matters.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yes, Lord. This is the day the Lord has made.
And we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Listen, guys, good morning to everybody, and welcome to the Health Matters Podcast Live, where your health matters. We want you guys to join us here every Saturday at 9 a.m. as we bring you relevant information as it pertains to your health and well-being. We'll have healthcare professionals that will come on, other professionals that will come on to help us to show and assist you in being the best you that you can be as it pertains to your health and well-being.
So, guys, go ahead and make sure you like our Facebook page, Get Fit with Jackie Fitness. Like and share. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Health Matters Jackie and Coach.
Yep. All right, guys. So it's time for some birthdays. September is the birthday month.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of birthdays this month. I was on Facebook and I saw Minister Liz McDaniel. I think all of her grandbabies.
Wow.
Birthdays are this
September
month.
is a great
So
month.
happy birthday to all her grandchildren, her grandson Jeremiah, her daughter Latoya, I think it's today. She put that out. So happy birthday, guys. Happy birthday to you guys.
Sharon Scott is celebrating a birthday.
Sharon Scott
I think
celebrating
she's
a birthday. I think some other people are celebrating a birthday.
Brother, he's celebrating a birthday this month.
Exactly. And Kel Mitchell.
Yeah, Kel.
Yeah, and he is the founder and creator of Atrium Graphic Design.
Yeah, and he does great job.
Awesome work.
Logos,
Professionals, logos,
helping
flyers.
you build your brand.
Yes,
Does a great
anything
job in
that you want to get done, I'm telling you, he does. He's the man. So, guys.
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
And also on your side, we got some birthdays, don't we?
Yes, my older sister, Lavinia, her birthday is the 23rd of September.
Right.
And we have our own very Coach Patrick birthday.
Whoop, whoop.
Woo, woo. His birthday. Come on, let's go ahead and give these people applause. Yes.
Happy
birthday. And so those who got married, like Coach said, jump the broom, whatever, how you did it. Happy anniversary to you.
Most
So,
definitely.
guys, celebrate yourself. Celebrate your union. May God continue to bless you and your union.
All right. So happy anniversary. Guys, keep the fire burning and keep building family. Keep loving each other. Listen, if you would like to be a sponsor or partner or friend of this broadcast, you can call 706-592-8862. We would love for you to partner with us. As we said, we're still working on getting back on the radio airways so that we can also accommodate that clientele that we have there also. So we're looking forward to that. Health Matters happenings for today, Jackie.
Yes.
Something?
Oh, I don't know, Coach. You tell me. I'm waiting on you. I told him to be ready. So he's trying to make sure I'm operating over here. I said, you got to take care of you. I got this.
Okay, you got that, and I
Yes.
got this, and I'm coming to Health Matters. We're talking about flu shots, guys. Listen, who needs a flu vaccine? You know, everybody that needs a flu vaccine. Adults age 65 up to 65 years, kids ages 6 months through 8 years. So it's always important to get a flu vaccine. We're going into the fall season in September already. So we in early fall, beginning on the 21st, which is I think next week or next weekend. So think about that. If you need a flu shot, make sure you set your appointments to get your flu shot so that you can stay vaccinated and stay healed. That's what we want you to do. We want you to stay healthy so that you can do all the things that you're called to do. And that's your Help Matters happening this morning.
All right, guys. So, guys, we are talking about suicide prevention. You know, September is Suicide Prevention Month. You have other things that that is they kind of put for this month. But we are focusing on Suicide Prevention Month.
Most definitely.
Yes,
Most
absolutely.
Because it's so important just to bring awareness, to these areas. And some months are just set aside so that you can, on purpose, just, bring awareness to different areas as it pertains to people's health. And suicide prevention is what they're bringing awareness to this month. And according to the CDC, suicide rates increased approximately 36% between 2000 and 2021. Suicide was responsible for, listen to this number, 48,183 deaths in 2021. That's a lot, y'all. And we know, that's probably just a runover, Jackie, from the pandemic, the pandemic area and how people were so quarantined and isolated. And
I think it just made it worse. I think it has always been there. I think it was just more being more aware. It was more recognizable now. You can see it more now since the pandemic, where we have had teenage suicide, and especially among our Gen X, millenniums. And so we have to really, really kind of we have to check up on each other. We have to do wellness checks.
Most definitely.
Check up on those. And how it says that, if somebody come up in your mind and you're thinking about them a lot, you may need to give them a call, because you just don't know why the Holy Spirit is putting this person on your heart. Check in on your loved ones, check in on your children. Don't assume everything is okay. And the first thing we do is pray, but we also got to do the natural part too. We have to call them, put some action behind that, and because just check on them. Hey, how you doing? Let me know how you doing. Especially if you haven't heard from them. And this generation now, I grew up, then I left home. My mom got a call every at least 2 to 3 days a week. I called my mom. I didn't expect for her to call me. It was good when she did, but I didn't expect for her to call me. But she did. But I made sure I made that a priority. I made it a priority, and I was very consistent with that. So we have to, just kind of get back to those things that matters.
Most definitely.
Check in on each other.
And let me throw some more numbers out there, Jackie. The number of people who think about or attempt suicide is even higher than the number I just gave you of the 48,000 deaths by suicide in 2021. In 2021, there was an estimated 12.3 million American adults seriously thought about suicide. Listen to that number now, 12.3 that thought about it, 3.5 that planned a suicide attempt, and 1.7 million attempted suicide. So it's so important that we learn, to just know the signs and the warning signs and the risk of suicide. And those are some of the things that we're going to talk about on this morning, because it's so important to know those things. If you think you may hurt yourself or attempt suicide, get help right away. Don't wait. Suicidal thinking doesn't get better on its own. It just doesn't.
Even the thoughts,
right.
The thoughts, and it's even some cases, some type of medication can cause suicidal thoughts. So if you're having those thoughts, and you are not a person that has been thinking about suicide, but you're on a certain medication, and now you're having suicidal thoughts, you have to let your doctor know that,
Definitely. Get them involved.
Absolutely. And we have so much pressure today, Coach, among comparing ourselves among other people,
Social media.
because of a social media platform. I mean, if it's not handled correctly and having balance, you can find yourself, comparing yourself. You can find yourself comparing yourself to your life and their lifestyles, because what you see is not always what you get in reality. So they showing you the best side and the good things. Not saying that it is good, but you have to just kind of look at things from a real perspective and real experiences that we have.
Most definitely. And like I say, get help, get help, get help. If you think someone or yourself may be at risk for suicide, you start thinking that way. If someone threatens suicide, take it seriously. Don't take it for a joke, or they ain't gonna do nothing. They said that before, but you never know when that person is serious about what they're saying. So take it serious anytime you hear that or feel that someone may be close or at risk to suicide, because you may have very limited time and only one chance to intervene. So, think about that. Take it seriously. One of the major things to do if someone do, threaten suicide, and if it's imminent, then call 911 immediately.
Right.
Or call your local emergency number immediately. If you need help right now in getting that person some help. Now, there's also a suicide crisis number. You can call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline number, which is 988. The Suicide Crisis Lifeline number is 988. And you can call that number 24/7, 365 days a year. Someone is always on the other end of that line. Or you can even start a chat at 988lifeline.org. 988lifeline.org. And that again is 24/7, 365 days a year. If you ever just need someone to talk to and you feel like you may be, want to cause harm to yourself or cause harm to know someone else that may want to cause harm to themselves, remember those numbers, write them down somewhere so that you can intervene and make that connection.
Yeah. And Coach, I just want to talk about mental health, and, don't compare mental health with mental illness, because mental illness is a diagnosis of something, bipolar, schizophrenic, whatever it may be. But mental health is just everyday coping with life.
Yes.
And both of them are serious. And so we have, like I said, I think last Saturday, mental health has been a stigma, especially going unnoticed or not talked about in the Black community.
Because people don't want to be labeled.
Yeah. But we got to be real. People have real issues. They have real stories. They have real experiences, and they have real issues. And we have to tackle them. And of course, God is our source. We go to prayer, but God give us help. Yes, he put help out there for us. He give us doctors. He give us therapists. Of course, you want to make sure you get the right therapist. He give us good, confidant people to talk to. Because if someone is not behaving their normal behavior that you are normally used to them behaving, and you feel like something is off, you may want to pull them to the side. Hey, is everything okay? Is it something you want to talk about? Those are the things we have to really be in tuned in, even with ourselves. We have to be in tune to our thinking. We have to be in tune to our thoughts and where they're going and where we're allowing them to go. So we really have to be in tune in that and just be mindful.
Most definitely. Mental health is serious, and everyone has mental health, just like physical health. Everybody has a certain condition. Some people handle things well when it comes to mental health, stresses and things of that nature. Some people don't, but we can't just look at a person and say, well, I don't know why they acting like that, because people are different and people handle stresses differently. So mental health is serious. Mental illnesses can lead to suicide. So we need to be aware of that. So if you know that you are at risk for that, if you have that history in your family, make sure you have the numbers close to you where you can call that mental health specialist, where you can seek help from a primary care doctor or other healthcare provider. If you have time and you see these things going on, reach out to a close friend, a loved one. You gotta make a connection. You can't leave people isolated. See, because that's what the devil wants you to do. He wants you to be isolated. That's one of his biggest weapons that he used, to isolate and conquer you and to devour you. So don't isolate yourself. If you have these feelings of suicide, reach out to a close friend or a loved one. Contact someone in your faith community, your pastor, your spiritual leader, your sister, your brother, someone that's going to give you some good godly counseling and encourage you to know that, hey, live another day. Live another day. This too shall pass. All right?
Hope.
This too shall pass.
I mean, just having hope, that's all it takes, just an ounce of hope, and just wanting and knowing your why, that hope, having that why in that hope of wanting to live and why I should. And, and so some people have experienced loved ones that have committed suicide,
Most definitely.
whether we know them directly or indirectly.
Right. And
Yes, and guys, you can chime in. I know this is a sensitive subject, but it's real. It's real, guys. We're in times, we're in perilous time, and it's a lot of intense pressure on our young adults, and we really have to be more mindful. Even our children and our grandchildren,
Good point, Jackie.
all of these,
Yeah.
we got to be mindful. We
Gotta
can't
pay attention.
ignore this and just brush this off and say, okay, I go to church and I pray, and and that's good. But we're in a world. We're not of the world, but we're in it. So we have to make sure we're mindful of them things, because the enemy comes always. If he can't get to you, he gonna get to what's next, what's just as close to you,
That's
which
right.
is your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, and your family. Guys, you can chime in on this conversation. You don't know what you may say to help someone that may be going through. Somebody right now may be going through, thinking about committing suicide right now, that is listening to us. We want to say that there is hope.
That's right.
There is hope, and that hope is in God.
Yeah.
But you have to reach out. And so we have to put this out here, and we just pray that it reaches someone.
Right.
It reaches the people. It reaches the others. And that's what we're here to do,
Most
is to
definitely.
help you be the best you that you can be. And we have to be mindful. We have to be more guarded with our hearts and with our mind. And so what we are allowing in, and what we're saying to ourselves, because we are faced with so much. It's some things we can't even look at anymore, Coach. I mean,
That's true. That's true.
And some things we can't
Those
look
gates,
at.
those gates, you have to be careful what
Yes,
you allow
yes.
in those gates, what you're looking at coming into those eyes and what you're hearing. So yeah, you have to be careful of that, because that stuff affects you. A lot of people are so caught up with social media and getting likes for this and likes for that, and that stuff affects them if they can't handle it. But listen, there is no single cause for suicide. Suicide most often occurs when stressors and health issues combine to create an experience of hopelessness and despair.
Right.
Now, effective suicide prevention requires everyone to be aware of the risk factors and warning signs for suicide and know how to respond. And that's the key right there. Know how to respond when you identify these factors, the risk factors, and the warning signs. So we're going to talk about those a little bit. Suicide risk factors. Suicide risk factors are conditions that increase the chance that a person may try to take their life. All right, that's what a suicide risk factor, and they come in different areas. One is it can be a health factor, a mental health condition, just like we
Yes.
just got through talking about, Jackie.
Yes.
Depression. The matter of fact, depression is one of the most common but most often undiagnosed, as you said earlier, I think, and untreated.
Right.
The depression, because
it's
people don't want to
hard.
be labeled.
They don't want to be labeled, or it's hard to detect, because emotions and feelings are flicker. They're up and down. That doesn't mean we ignore them. We just we don't ignore what we are aware of them. And we're aware of those emotions and allow them to be guides. Okay, what is these emotions guiding me or leading me to do? So we have, that's why our thinking can trigger certain emotions, what we're thinking about, certain experiences that we had in the past and that we can experience now can trigger. You can have an experience right now, but it would trigger something that happened years ago.
That's good.
Because we never we what we was told to do, deal with it,
Right.
just handle it. So that's like a suppression. We just pack it down, compress it down. So as we move through age or we move through life, and this stuff never get
Dealt with.
or managed, guess what? That's going to show right back up when you have another experience, a similar experience that you dealt with in the past. Just think about, let's look at something simple, Coach.
Yeah, I mean,
Think about a song that you hear. And it's a familiar
on a
song.
certain time of
a
your
certain
life,
time of your life.
maybe you was with a certain person. Yeah,
That is going to automatically
triggered some things.
trigger
Memories.
Man, I was there. I was playing this. I was doing this. Or it can be something that reminds you of your mother or a loved one that has gone on to, be in the heavens. So those are the things I'm talking about. So just like that, it quickly will remind you, oh man, of that rejection.
Most definitely. Let's run down some of these other health factors. Substance abuse problems. If people abuse substance abuse, that can be legal or illegal drug. Jackie mentioned it earlier. Bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. These are mental illnesses. Personality traits of aggression, mood changes, just moody, and poor relationships. You just socially, social wellness, is about relationships with people. Those things can drag you down. Those things can bring you in depression, bring anxiety into your life. Conduct disorders. As I said, anxiety disorders, serious or chronic health conditions and or pain where you've been dealing with diabetes, you're losing limbs and you just feel I just can't, I can't put up with this chronic disease no more. So all of these are suicidal risk factors as it pertains to your health. Traumatic brain injuries. All of these things are risk factors as it pertains to your health. Then, Jackie, there are some environmental factors.
Yes, and that's very important. Our personal environments, our environment outside of our personal environment, access to lethal means, including firearms, drugs.
That's a big
And we having a lot of issues with opioids,
right?
With moms, our young adults, where that is beginning to no quality control of that.
Right.
Prolonged stress, such as harassment, bullying, relationship problems, unemployment, stressful life events, which may include death, divorce, job loss, exposure to another person's suicide. And everybody got different coping
That's
mechanisms.
life, y'all. That's life.
That's life.
Yeah.
That is life. Life brings things. It brings issues, it brings inconveniences, it brings those things, but we have to know who we are. And God says, cast all your cares and your concern on him because he cares. He knew we cannot handle this thing alone.
Right.
He already knew that, and we know we need him. He's a vital necessity. Apart from him, we cannot handle these things. But that does not mean we don't be practical and use wisdom and get some help
Most definitely.
from professionals that God has put in place. See, God got people everywhere, assigned everywhere, in the churches, in the hospitals, in the doctor's office, in the therapist, in the fitness field. God has people everywhere, but giving us that practical help.
Right. Now, and as we talked about these environmental factors that raises suicide risk, Jackie, you mentioned it about access to lethal weapons and things of that nature, and opioid drugs. But this lethal weapon thing, if you think somebody may have stated something about suicide or may be suicidal, if they have weapons in their access to weapons, you really need to tell somebody about it, talk to them about it, try to remove them from that environment, because a lot of people, we see how we have these school shootings and these, job on the job shootings. People will go in, kill people, and then kill themselves. They was already thinking about suicide anyway, and then you'll have people come on the TV where I seen their social media, and last time I seen them, they said this and that, and they have a arsenal of guns in their house. So you have to tell somebody. You have to tell somebody.
And we have to step up and we say something. So I don't know the reason why we don't say anything. We fear they gonna get upset with us, or we just it ain't happening to me, so it ain't bothering me. I'm just minding my business. And there's times when God allows that, and that's why you got to be led by the Holy Spirit. We have a comment. It says, so many life challenges impact each person differently, but we must cast our cares on the Lord and use the resources he has provided. That is so true.
That's good. And I like how you say use the resources, because we have a personal responsibility to do things. We, like Jackie say, it's powerful to pray. You have to pray, but we have to use what God has given us in order to try and overcome these suicidal risk factors and things of that nature. There are history factors, previous suicide attempts in your family. I mentioned that earlier. Family history of suicide, childhood abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, neglect, or trauma. All of these things could lead and higher and increases your risk of suicide. Jackie, let's talk about some suicide warnings.
Okay.
That we need to be aware of. And most people who take their lives exhibit one or more warning signs. You just have to be aware of them. You just have to know them, and you have to listen. You have to be listening. Yeah, sometimes you have to listen with your eyes, because they may not be saying a whole lot,
but they could be behaving. Look at them behavior.
Right. So, they'll show these signs either through what they say or what they do. That's why I say you have to listen with your eyes sometimes, okay? So if a person talks about it, killing themselves, feeling hopeless, having no reason to live, being a burden to others, feeling trapped, unbearable pain, that's a warning sign. That's a warning sign that I need to take action, that I need to talk to this person, tell somebody what's going on, try to make sure that you've done all you do to make that connection. And one of the best resources we got out there is the CDC.gov. If you go to CDC.gov, there's a plethora of information there that will help you to learn how to respond when you identify suicide warning signs. So just go to that website and check those resources.
And I wanted to say that it's a response, not a reaction, because the way you respond, it would depend on this person moving forward. Whether they're going to do it or whether making a decision to do this or not. So we got to be careful that we are responding the right way with the right words.
And you respond when you know.
Non-judgmental, being empathetic, having compassion.
Most definitely.
So you got to make sure you ain't coming at somebody harsh.
Right. And it's okay to ask them if they're wanting to commit suicide.
Yes.
A lot of people think you shouldn't ask them that, but yeah, it's okay to ask them that. You should ask them.
Or just ask you, okay, how are you feeling? Do you how you feel about yourself? Just having that, bringing it in.
Dialogue.
So open up in that dialogue will have, give them, making them feel more comfortable and trusting you, because see what it is, you open up that dialogue, but you got to make sure you don't go at them judgmental, because they're going to cut you off, and that's going to make it even worse.
No, you definitely don't want to get into a place where you're judging them. No, they're already in a depressed or an anxiety, place. So you definitely don't get in a place where you're judging them. You're only helping, but it's okay to ask, are they feeling, like they want to hurt themselves. Behavior, as I say, you can't just listen. You have to be looking with your eyes. Behaviors that may signal risk of suicide, especially if it's related to a painful event, loss, or change. Increased use of alcohol or drugs. If you know this person wasn't, a big alcohol drink user or did drugs, and they start doing that, that's a sign. That could be a sign. Looking for a way to end their lives. Like searching online for materials or means on how they can do it. That's a
Right.
warning sign.
Absolutely.
That's a
It
warning
is.
sign.
It is, Coach. And so even when we have coaches saying, someone said, I'm noticing that folks won't make mention of red flags because we see a culture of hypersensitivity about others being in their business. It's a key to ask for wisdom and the appropriate time to address it.
Most definitely. Most
Yes.
definitely. And that's why you have to use wisdom, and you have to know how to approach people, and you can't approach them judgmentally. So yeah, you have to really be careful with that. Some other behaviors is withdrawing from activities. People used to participate, they used to socialize, and now they just don't do it no more.
Because
They
you've
don't want to
been
be
in
around no more.
a isolation for so
Right.
long. And
one of the biggest.
and then don't social media, it's easier to be at home, be behind a computer, gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to face time with nobody or talk to anybody face to face. I can do it right there on my computer. Come on. I mean, that in itself can put you in isolation. Like I said, these things has to be in balance.
Most definitely.
They have to be in balance.
Most definitely.
You have to pay attention to your behaviors.
Right. Some other behaviors, Jack, is visiting or calling people to say goodbye. I love you. Goodbye. I probably won't see you no more. These are behaviors that we got to pay attention to. These are warning signs. Giving away your possessions, your prized possessions, just giving away things. Aggression, fatigue. These are all behaviors that could be signs of suicide that we have to pay attention to and be ready and prepared to respond to. Real quick, mood. People who are considering suicide often display one or more of the following moods: depression, anxiety, loss of interest, irritability, humiliation, agitation, and rage. So these are the things that we have to be on the lookout and could be a warning sign of suicide. Of course, we know all things and everybody is different, but when you know somebody and something changes and something is just not right in their life, and they've been in a state of depression and anxiety for a long time, and they just can't seem to shake it or move past it, then we need to raise some red flags. We need to really, talk to the people and see what's going on in their life.
And we also get wisdom, with all things, get
That's what it's
wisdom,
all
get
about.
understanding, get understanding. Okay, God, how to approach this. I'm thinking, this person is thinking, because everything starts with a thought, and so I really need to, and in some form, people do let you know. They either physically let you know, verbally, or it's just behaviors, that we just ignore. So that's why it's very important to recognize signs and signals of when you thinking somebody is pre-contemplating on committing suicide, and that's part of those stages of behavior. Pre-contemplating, contemplating, but you want to catch that before it happens. So
Most definitely.
yes.
All right. So, Jackie, we getting down here to the nitty gritty. Listen.
All right. This has been a good conversation. So, guys, if you're looking, like and share the podcast.
Most definitely. So just safeguard the people in your life. Safeguard yourself by reaching out from the risk of suicide, and support them. If you see somebody else that may be at risk or showing some warning signs, always ask. Keep them safe. You want to be around them. Stay connected to it. Be there for them. Help them to connect. As I told you earlier, CDC.gov is an awesome resource to help you to understand more about suicide prevention or the risk of suicide, the warning signs of suicide. CDC.gov, start right there. It'll help you. Don't forget the emergency number that always have someone there to talk to you. 988-988. Always a good place to start. If someone needs to talk to someone, if they may be feeling depressed or in anxiety or show warnings of suicide. Listen, we thank you for listening to Help Matters. So we want you to make sure you like our page, like our Facebook page at Get Fit with Jackie Fitness, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Help Matters Jackie and Coach.
Guys, remember, we are here to help you to become a better you, to be the best you that you can be. Guys, we'd like to leave you with 3 John 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, we got arts in the hearts out there this weekend. Go out and have fun and enjoy. I know we got a little rain, but if you go on tomorrow, Sunday, from 3 to 4, our son in love going to be there. Amen. Plus A Major Sound. They're going to be up there. They're going to be singing their new tunes, featuring Danny, Chocolate Diamond, and also Sold Out. So, and other hits they're going to be having featuring AJ. So get out there, guys. So we're going to pray that rain away, and we're going to get out there and support. Get out there and support our young adults out there. Good food. Go eat from every country. This is one time you can go in one place and eat from every country. Right. Go eat around the world today, guys. That's what you go do. Just go sample things from each part of the world today. So get out there, guys. Have fun. Be happy. Be joyful, guys. We love you guys. And remember, Help Matters happening every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. right here. We love you guys. Be blessed and have a good day.
Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Let's go.
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up. Cause you tuned into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs.
Health matters to me.
Strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, though. Positive attitudes, behavior, that's a lifelong dream goals.
Health matters to me.
Health matters, and we're here to help you become the better you, to be the best version you can be.
Health matters to me.
And it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.